Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, we're going to take a look at AQST today. Aquestive Therapeutics was requested by somebody in the comments in a previous video. If you have a ticker that you'd like to see me cover, please put the ticker symbol, not the company name, just the ticker symbol, in the comments below, and I'll add it to the list. If you don't get a reply from me saying that I've added it to the list, then just drop me a fresh comment, a few days later, so that it puts it back to the top, and hopefully then I will see it. So AQST, a few things going on here. So one, the first thing I notice is from about the end of July, so all through August and now into September, like no idea what month it is. It's been following this trend line up nicely and obviously kicked it off here, did a nice test of it, and now is retesting it again. So the question is, can it come in and essentially put in maybe a nice flag that it's going to bump itself out of here in the next few days. So that'll be something that could be quite interesting to see. The other thing is we have a bit of resistance previously here. I don't necessarily think that that's the strongest level to be getting the resistance. I think the stronger one for sure will be up here around 550. So I'm kind of curious to see if we get any resistance at all, if it does get out of this wedge and then comes back up to like 473 up to about 480. I'm wondering if it just kind of blows through that zone if it does break out to the upside. Now just keep in mind it could break out to the downside also. So let's put in some potential support levels. Now there was a bunch of previous support and resistance here. So you see support, 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 support here. That was flipped from resistance here and then flipped to resistance again, and now is flipping it to support again. So this $3.84 should be a really, really strong zone to the downside if it comes down and needs it. But if it falls through this wedge and is making a pretty strong move down, I don't know if that one will catch and hold really or not. The next most obvious one to me is $3.51 to the downside, and if we revisit this one and it needs more support levels, then we can add those in later. You do see the MACD crossing over here on the daily, so it's extended a bit over the baseline, not that high at all, but certainly room to come down if it wants to, and bearish crossover at the moment. So we'll see if that can quickly kind of reshape and throw back in the bulls direction, or if it's going to draw it down a bit, potentially through this trend line. Or to me it's just a battle right now of the MACD versus that up trend line that we see here. If we throw in the MAs just to have a look, it's also trying to catch support here on that purple 20 MA, but it's kind of fighting with it right now. And then the yellow, the 50 here, is sitting right about where that first bounce zone below, right about 384, 385 is where it's sitting at the moment. So you do see it caught resistance there previously, bouncing right off the 200 MA. And like I said, I'm just wondering if it would continue to do that the next attempt, or if it would just kind of blow right through, kind of like we saw over here. See how it got caught under the 200 several times here, and then it just kind of blew through it. Now obviously in the longer run, that didn't turn out super well for the bulls. It's a pretty short-lived move up, but there were some pretty good days in there. 8.75% up, 5% up, 4% up, 2% up. So it could see a little bit of history repeating itself there, but that's the question that I would have at the moment. Now, if we flip over to the data side of things, huge return potential from the analyst side. I don't exactly know what's being read here, if this is just an Ortex price target, because I don't see any analysts that they're listing here. So this may just be their own price target that they've set for AQST. And $13.83, almost 230% up. So I might keep a strong eye on this. Actually, I think I'm going to toss this into my swing setups watch list to keep an eye on this one just in case something interesting breaks out here. Now on the short data side of things, oh, and then we'll flip back there and take a look at the insiders in a sec. But utilization up over 50%, a smidge of a cost to borrow, but nothing really that's probably impactful in any way. But short interest staying below 5% at the moment per Ortex. And so if they stay out of it, that could certainly help AQST walk itself up here and sort of get out from underneath this 200 MA, which would put it into a potential trend reversal and get it moving in a bullish direction. So it's sort of sitting in an interesting spot here with this wedge, with the trend line, with the MAs being so bunched up, and having been drawn down so much in the previous months. It could be looking at some good green days ahead, especially if it can get up over this 200 and flip that from resistance to support. That could be really, really critical. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this one. The other thing to maybe note here is more sells than buys from insiders. I don't know how recent this is. It's not in the last month, not in the last 3 months. Okay, so this was sometime between like 6 and 12 months ago. It looks like that there was about $501,000 over the course of 3 transactions that came out from insiders. So, potentially nothing that's impactful in the near term. But maybe we'll see some insider buys come in. Who knows? But that would potentially be something to look at as well. If all of these things start to take shape, there's a lot of factors in this one, which is why I find it interesting, and I want to keep an eye on it. And it's a very low cost stock, right? So those can of course be dicey, but if we see some volume coming in, and sort of jumping up above this blue line here, we see the MACD kind of refuting this bearish crossover, and if we see it continue to consolidate in this small zone, not consolidate like move sideways, but just confine itself is better within this small area, it'd be interesting to see if we get a big move out of that or not. All right, well, good luck if you're in this one. I appreciate whoever dropped me this. It's an interesting one, and I'm happy to have it on the radar. All right, folks. Well, I hope that you are having a good trading week, no matter what you're trading, and I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video.